Nick Baldwin for BloodyElbow.com here with an LFA welterweight fighter, Craig Eckelberg, who takes on Nelly Thompson this Friday night here in Prior Lake, Minnesota at LFA 68. Craig, appreciate the time. We were just talking off air. Most of your teammates have opponent changes after opponent changes. You haven't.
Right.
How lucky are you?
No, I think I'm the luckiest one in the group. I'm the only one who prepared for the same person the entire camp. Everyone else had, okay, this week they're fighting somebody, next week they're fighting somebody different. So thankfully for me, I was able to prepare for the same person the whole time.
You have 4 teammates on this card, all from Roufusport in Milwaukee. How beneficial is that? Because you all sort of just drive down and you're sort of one big crew, and instead of just one guy fighting on the card, you have all these friends, all these training partners. It must be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. The mantra we've been having is Roufusport versus the world. That's how we view this card, and so all of us are trying to get to the big stage, and some of the guys are trying to get back to it. And so we've been in it together in the trenches. Need somebody to go for an extra run, there's always somebody there. And do an extra session. Hey, you want to drill some more? There's always somebody there. And so it's been awesome, and we're ready to light it up tomorrow night.
I'm curious, how was the drive out? Just because I was talking to another fighter earlier, and the fact that you guys get here like a day before you make weight. Was that a little tough, just having to cut and then drive, or?
I mean, it's a little annoying, but in the scheme of things, we got to sleep one more night in our bed, and I'll take that.
Fair enough. You're taking on Nelly Thompson. Do you know much about your opponent? I'm sure you've done the research, but what are your thoughts on him sort of coming into this fight?
Yeah, so my opponent, Nelly Thompson, he's early in his career. Obviously, not at the level that I'm at, and so looking to show that he's an athletic fighter. He's strong, he's gonna be explosive, but nothing I haven't seen before. Like you said, I got 5 guys on this card, and all of them are strong, explosive guys that they train with every single day, and so just looking to show that this veteran still got some in the tank.
What would you say the biggest challenge he poses to you is?
Yeah, just his athleticism. I see the only way that he can beat me is with some athletic, explosive move. But that's not going to beat me.
Sure. You're veteran savvy. Is that an advantage for you coming into this one?
Oh, 100%. I really think that, and from a mental standpoint, is that I'm not going to break. I've been through the trenches in life. I've been through the trenches in fighting. There's nothing that he's going to do that he's going to put on me that has made me think, oh man, what am I going to do? No, I'm gonna find a way out of it. I'm gonna fight out of it, and then I'm gonna make him pay.
A bit of a broader question, but what are your goals in MMA? Of course, you do some coaching, I believe, down at Roufusport as well. But as for on the fighting side, what do you still want? I mean, is the UFC still there in your sights? Is that the goal? I mean, it is for most fighters, but right now, do you want to get there eventually, or what will you be content with?
Yeah, no, so that's a great question. So I'm going to be content with nothing short of being at the top of the UFC. It's not just, I'm not looking to try to get to the UFC. I'm looking to make a stand at the top of the UFC. Okay. And so while I do coach a lot, it's great, it's awesome, it's fun. I really enjoy coaching. It's a skill that I have. But for me, fighting is number one. And looking to show that on Friday. I got to take care of business and show where I belong.
How long until you do get there and are able to make that UFC run?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I hopefully sooner rather than later. But honestly, I got to take care of business on Friday and show that that's where I belong. I've been in this for a while, but I've had those moments where I've got to the point where next fight potentially be the shot at the big show, and I falter a little bit. But I've learned and grown from those so much, and looking to show on Friday that I'm showing where I need to go, and I'm doing the right stuff to get there.
Is fighting still the priority over coaching?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Is coaching, though, I imagine once fighting is done, whether that's in 5 years or however many years you got left in the sport, coaching is something you probably want to do after you're done fighting?
Yeah, definitely. I love coaching. So down at Roufusport, I have my hands in a lot of things as far as coaching goes. I run our amateur and youth and kids programs, and so helping to build the next generation of fighters, as well as helping out with other pro fighters. So it's awesome. I love coaching, but for now, fighting is definitely number one. Yeah.
Fair enough. As someone who still does a bit of both right now, fighting, even though it is a priority, as you said, you run the kids class and you still do some coaching. How is it balancing the two?
It's actually, for me, it's pretty easy. I like to be busy, and so I coach when I got to coach, and then my brain switches, and I train when I got to train, and so it's awesome. Luckily, at Roufusport we have everything in house, so I don't have to drive and do anything. So I literally just take my gear off, train, take my gear, put my gear back on, coach. It's easy as that.
When fighting is done in the past for you, do you envision yourself in some sort of head coach role? And no shade at Duke Rufus, fantastic head coach. Not asking if you want to replace him, but that leadership, so to speak, is that kind of what you're looking for?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, someday when I'm done fighting, hopefully, many years down the road that I step down from fighting and, yes, definitely running my own program, and having fighters as well as regular students as well.
Well, it's LFA 68. You're taking on Nelly Thompson here in Prior Lake, Minnesota on Saturday night. Last question for you, Craig. How do you get it done?
I get it done with finish. That's what I'm looking to show. Fireworks are going to happen on Friday, and I'm going to be standing there when the smoke clears.
Craig, thank you so much for the time, and best of luck on Friday.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.